Oh, CM Punk is back in WWE, and it makes me smile every single time, because for about 10 years, I was a guy that was going, oh, it's never going to happen, it's never going to happen, even after he signed with AEW. So while everyone is saying this, let's all say it together, never say never again. That was, you know what I'm talking about. But it does bring up a lot of questions, and that's why I, Simon Miller, am zooming in today to tell you that I think Triple H's version of this CM Punk return is going to hit different. Why? Here's why. First, start off with the obvious. Yes, when CM Punk did indeed walk out of WWE in 2014, one of the main reasons is that he wasn't getting on with Triple H. Now, who is basically his direct boss? That's right, it's the game, Triple H. I mean, that was one of the huge stopping points that everybody assumed. It was like, well, Phil Brooks and Paul Levesque are never going to be able to get on, so we may as well take this idea and throw it into the toilet. But as Triple H himself said, in the post-Survivor Series press conference, everybody changes. He has definitely changed, so now he thinks they can get cooking and do some good business. And never forget, that has always been the way when it comes to sports entertainment. If you can make somebody some money, they'll open the door and go, oh, it's so great to have you back. Hug time. Well, I think there are three specific points when it does indeed come to Hunter that makes it worth his while. And one, just look at some of the good it has done to his reputation. I mean, he was already smashing it anyway, but if you are a CM Punk fan, now everybody is down on their knees going, thank you so much, Triple H, I can't believe it. And he's basically done a magic trick here. I don't want to stumble over the words I've already said, but he made the unthinkable happen. So if you are watching this, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, and you're not, if you want to call me and give me the lorry numbers, I promise I will play that every single damn week. It also goes to show that he does have his finger on the pulse, because another argument was, well, I'm sure CM Punk will return to WWE one day, but it will be when business is down and they need the ace up the sleeve. Well, that's not what we've done at all. Instead, we've got the iron and we've gone, oh my gosh, it's so damn hot, I better strike someone with it. Well, that's attempted murder, but I don't come up with the sayings. I mean, I know from my perspective, is one of the things that I started going, wow, 2 thumbs up, because you had Survivor Series in Chicago. It's only been a couple of months since CM Punk left AEW, so if you wanted to create the biggest amount of conversation possible, this is when you should have pulled the trigger, and man, they got that gun, and they stuck it up their ass. Not what I meant to say at all. It does kind of give you an idea how he is going to approach things going forward, and I suppose, given that we just talked about it, he is going to have kind of a gung-ho attitude, and I massively appreciate that, because as sad and as stupid and as geekish as it does sound, wrestling is all about moments, and when we got to the end of that pay-per-view, premium live event, all of a sudden we got, I felt it rush through me, those wonderful goosebumps, and yes, I'm that guy. I've now watched CM Punk's return about 79 times. I have problems. It's also why I think it kind of puts Triple H in a position of ultimate power, because let's say we get 6 months down the road, we've done WrestleMania, and all of a sudden we get these backstage shenanigans, and sure, CM Punk is doing what CM Punk has done in the past. Well, all Mr. Levesque has to do is turn around and say, remember that contract we made you sign, where you promised you weren't going to do this? Well, you are doing it, so goodbye, I'm firing you, you leave. Well, I'm not saying that he would do this, but if there is any leftover animosity, he'll probably sit back in his chair and go, that felt so damn good. And if it doesn't happen, Triple H becomes the guy, you have to forgive my verbiage here, it's not the best, but you'll see why it makes sense, who put a leash on CM Punk. That doesn't mean that he has to be all, corporate in front of cameras. It just means behind the scenes, everyone is going to be a lot happier. And I will. I don't want any more backstage shenanigans. You also do have to look at it from the CM Punk point of view. And if this run doesn't work out, well, what the flub does he do next? I don't think it comes down to finances or money or anything like that. I think it comes down to reputation. Because again, regardless what you think about the guy, he has left a legacy when it comes to this bizarre business. But you don't want somebody's lasting thoughts to be, oh, he got fired from AEW and he got fired from WWE. Ain't nobody want to get into that. And if all of a sudden CM Punk is headlining WrestleMania, which he's always wanted to do, and he goes into the Hall of Fame in 10 years, well, that is just going to leave a nicer impression in people's tum-tums. And do you not think that he wants that? Of course he does. He is but a human. So maybe something has now finally got off in his brain, and whatever happened back in 2014 or what happened in AEW has now flown away. This is when we get to the usual Simon Miller shifteroo. please remember that these are all human beings, especially one, Mr. Phil Brooks. So just be as kind as you can. You don't have to agree with his actions. It's probably coming from a source of difficulty or a source of pain or a source of emotion. So just be kind. It ain't hard. In fact, it's harder to be an asshole. This is absolutely what I want as well, because I know going into that Monday Night Raw after Survivor Series, I was desperate to see what Punk was going to do. And I admit it, I hold my hands up. It was a little bit more wishy-washy than I was expecting. If you are watching this video in the future, you already know. But I think we have planted some seeds for an amazing angle between Seth Rollins and CM Punk, to the point when retroactively we do look at this episode, we start doing the dance of joy, going, oh my gosh, he was a hypocrite, and he did it on purpose. It would also mean we get huge opportunities down the line, because if Triple H could hold this up on his CV and be like, see, I told you, I can make it work with anyone, then literally, you can go and make it work with anyone. So maybe you do go get an Okada, maybe you do go get a Ricky Starks, maybe you do go get a Wardlow, maybe somehow you entice Bryan Danielson back to the fold. Again, this goes back to the start of the video, never say never. I bet one day Tony Khan is in WWE, or Shane McMahon is in AEW. For some reason, this crazy industry just allows all this magic to happen. Sometimes it does make you go, why? You know the deal. When you say why, you slap your head. I don't know. What I do think that we as fans are quick to forget, though, is that you want this kind of chaos all of the time. It's what Dr. Robotnik was after, because it just makes things so entertaining. Like, this is the most buzzed I have been about wrestling for ages, and I'm always buzzed about wrestling. I've told you, I'm a geek. So I suppose if you want to break this down too, and make it a little bit like Cuddly Wuddly, maybe Triple H is the CM Punk whisperer. He now understands how to manage him, he understands what to say to him, and if we ever do get to a slight obstacle, they'll work together to ensure it just flutters away. And then you're going to get confidence behind the scenes too, and then more wrestlers are going to want to work with CM Punk, and everybody wins. Especially us, once again, fans. But I want to see CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, versus Cody Rhodes, versus Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman, versus Brock Lesnar again, versus Damian Priest, versus Finn Balor, versus AJ Styles, although that one's probably not going to happen, versus Dominic Mysterio and Rey Mysterio, that ties in, versus Santos Escobar, versus Gunther, versus Ludwig Kaiser, because why the flub not? I'd even take CM Punk versus Rhea Ripley, and have Rhea Ripley whip his ass. So I don't actually think this is last chance saloon, in the sense, even if it does go south, you can imagine a CM Punk going to Impact. Apparently they made him an offer too before this WWE stuff, but we all know that World Wrestling Entertainment is the biggest of all stages, and that's where I want him to compete, and that's where I want him to fly, because when you get right down into the foundations, he is very good at this, and he knows how to cut a promo. The kind of person I like seeing on my TV. And of course, you don't have to want this either. You can think this is the worst thing ever, because opinions make the world go round. Within 12 months, if we haven't had at least one Punk feud that makes you go, not sure what we've done with this line, but it looks very blurry, well, you can call me Steve, because I'll be massively surprised. Either way, though, I'm going to go out on a limb and saying this is going to be a terrific success, one of the smartest things that Triple H has done so far since taking over as head as creative. Problem is, I'm always wrong. Literally, always wrong. I've never been right. Basically, one of the reasons I stopped predicting pay-per-views, premium live events, made me a sad panda, told me my place in the world. Now, of course, the most important thing to do is go down into those comments below and let me know, what do you think about CM Punk going back to WWE? Is it a good idea, or is it the worst thing ever? Obviously not. That's a pineapple on pizza. Not true, I think it's fine. Also, please do like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Click the video that's on the screen right now to continue on your What Culture journey. My name is Siren from What Culture. It's on my birth certificate, and thank you very much for joining me. I know, it's a lot, all this positivity. My word, does it make things so much more fun. And I check my feelings. I like fun. What? Goodbye.